Happy Friday, friends. Hope everyone's well. Okay, it's there. So, hope everyone is doing well. I'm Diane. Thanks for stopping by. Spend a little bit of your time with me today. We're going to do a really easy 15-minute card. And I want to thank Amanda Fowler. I think her YouTube channel is Incan Inspiration. But I've seen this card done before, and I saw Amanda using our Penguins Playmates Christmas paper that you can still get for free out of Celebration through next week, well, until the 30th. But anyways, I was watching her make this card, and I thought this is so easy and so much fun. We can for sure do this in our 15-minute cards. So if, excuse me 1 minute. Hello? Hello?
You home or running?
Home?
When did you go to the doctor's? I thought you were going to the doctor's.
No. I'm doing a video.
Oh. When did you go to wherever? Or when do you leave?
Nowhere. I'm not going anywhere.
You go
Oh. That's Saturday.
you leave that Saturday.
Yeah. In the morning, why? Well, unless you have something else, and then I can change it. Oh, okay. Alrighty. I'll see. Yes. Okay. Alright. Bye. Sorry about that. I'm always afraid when my family calls that it's something happened to my mother-in-law, but really it was my husband, and if he would pay attention to me when we're discussing our schedules the first time, he would know what we're doing. We've been trying to go to dinner for our anniversary. We're camping on our anniversary, and so we said when we came back we would go out to dinner, and celebrate and stuff. So we were going to do that Wednesday. Well, we had horrendous storms here. There were tornado warnings, and actually there was a tornado that touched down in our county, not right here, but near enough. And anyways, we decided that since the weather was horrible, rather than risk leaving our fur babies at home alone, we would wait and go to dinner again later. So we postponed it again. And so we're supposed to go tonight. If not, we'll wait until 39 years and then we'll do that one. Okay, so where was Playful Penguins, free in Celebration, which ends September 30th. And so if there was something that you wanted to get out of, to earn for free out of Celebration, now's the time to do that. And one way that you can get your Celebration item for free is to join us for our first ever stamp camp on, now I gotta pay attention to my dates here, October the 9th. We will have, and you can go to my BohoStamper.com website, and all of the details are on there, as well as a registration form. If you register for our stamp camp by September 28th, you will get all of your project cardstock pre-cut and embellishments sent to you. If you register after the 28th, you can still participate in the stamp camp and get the supplies that I'm going to show you, but you won't get the pre-cut paper because we might not be able to get it in time and get it cut and get it sent out to you in time for camp day. So, as I said, all the details are on my website, and I'm gonna flip the screen down here for a minute because I want to show you. So our stamp camp will be 4 demonstrators with projects, and they are going to do a video and show you how to complete each one of those projects, and then either through Facebook or Zoom, and I'm thinking I put YouTube on my webpage, but it's really Zoom. You'll be able to create along with us. So this stamp camp is going to include the Merriest Moments stamp set, the Merriest Frames hybrid embossing folder, which embosses, and I actually have one of those embossed panels cut because I was working on our Stamp-A-Stack stuff. And the Merriest Frames dies. Now these are created so that you can put the die right inside your embossing folder and emboss and cut at the same time. I'll show in my project when I go to do my video that I did them separately because I had to, and you'll get to see why if you join our stamp camp. Stick these back in here, and I will give you just a quick, brief preview of one of the projects that we will be doing on the 9th. And there it goes. Did you see that? So I'll be showing how to create that. On the East Coast, it will start at 4 o'clock because we are recording this live, and the recordings will be available to you afterwards if you're not able to participate on that day. You'll get a PDF sent to you with the instructions prior to the venue, as well as a link to the campsite. So, wow. And 2 of us are from Pennsylvania. Anna's from California, and Noelia is from Puerto Rico. So you'll have quite a variety of designs. The other thing is Holiday Stamp-A-Stack is coming up quickly, October 6th and 7th. I've got the 2 designs ready to go. I'm waiting on my 1 stamp set to do the other 2, so I'm going to finish cutting the cardstock for that today. If you are going to participate here on the 6th or the 7th, please let me know if you haven't already so that I make sure I have all of your supplies ready for you. Okay, I think that's it. So back to Amanda's card. So Amanda's design is to use Designer Series paper 6x6 squares, which you may have a lot of those little pieces left lying around. I know I have, and you can do this even with your big 12x12s, and just, if you have scraps, cut out a 6x6 square and you'll be ready to go. Now let's get, there are your dimensions. While you jot those down or take a screenshot here, I'm going to show you a couple different variations here so that you can see how versatile this is. If you just saw the card that I had there, that was just a thank you card. And that was using I always forget the name of it. I just want to call it Harvest. Nature's Harvest. And I had cut the coneflower out of the Harvest dies. Okay, got that? And then down to, hey, here it is. I used the Harvest dies, cut out the coneflower, and then added it to my card. So if you have some die cuts or any kind of little embellishments, that will help decorate your card quickly. This is the new shopping code beginning today. So if you go to BohoStamper to shop, you want to put that in your shopping code at the checkout, and that helps me to know if you earn any of my thank you gifts. Okay, so let's start. Let me get these out of the way with we'll do 2 Halloween ones because, yes, I am still making Halloween cards. And this first one, this embossing folder, Stylish Scroll embossing folder, was one that we had, I think it was last year with our Halloween set, but you are welcome to use any embossing folders that you have, any designer series paper that you have. This paper is out of Cute Halloween 6x6. I just pulled out a couple of papers from there. And I have my black mat that I'm going to put behind that. And that was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I have a card base, which is our standard 8.5 by 11 cut in half and scored and folded in half again to be a 4 1/4 by a 5.5 inch card base. And so we'll layer the black on to that. I have 4 by 5 1/4 inch. I hope I just said the black mat sizes correctly. So I hope you took a screenshot of that because I may have misspoke. I don't remember what I just said. Is that terrible? My embossed piece of Whisper White, or Basic White, I'm sorry. It's now Basic White. That will layer. And I just have that black back there to kind of highlight a little bit. And then the whole key to this card, of course, is our 6x6 sheet. We're going to take, and I promise I'm going to make this so much easier than I did on, was that Monday's video I did? Oh, good Lord. I made that so much harder than what it needed to be. So we're going to cut in 1.5 inches, and you could mark this with a pencil if you like, if you don't have a trimmer. And you're going to just do this with a ruler and X-Acto knife or whatever. We're going to mark in 1.5 inches on the top and 1.5 inches on the side. So each one of these, we're going to cut this in 4, 1.5 inches from the corner. So I have 1.5 inches on my trimmer. Let's make sure we can see that. And my light's not shining on it too much. And then I'm going to put my bottom corner down on the bottom of the trimmer, which I don't think you can see. 1.5 inches is right where the white line meets the gray edge. So 1.5 and 1.5. And before I pick that up, I'm going to hold it together, rotate it counterclockwise 1 time to, you guessed it, 1.5. And put this corner down at 1.5. And it doesn't have to be exact. If you're off a little bit, you're off a little bit. Now we have 4 pieces out of our 6x6 square. So you can make 4 cards. On the top of my embossed panel, I just have to decide which way I want my paper to be. I can put it here. You have a right angle, so any number of possibilities here. See, we could even go, nope, not that way. Could go that way. Or, no, I want this side because I'm using, oh, I think I want that one. Is that the same one I used before on my sample card? Probably. Never fails. When I like something, I tend to always like it. Maybe I'll do it on this side. Yeah, maybe I'll do it on that side. And then just save these and use them on your next cards. I have a die cut little witch here. And she is actually not Stampin' Up. but I have her left from another project. And then Amanda showed on hers, to make it very simple, she just used her card-based color and cut a strip and stamped her sentiment right on there, which actually, and you know what, I think I have, oh, I do, I have a little, either a broom or a cauldron. You may recognize this little chick. She is from Tim Holtz. Sorry, but again, you know, I like different things. So, have all my little Halloween pieces cut out in here, because my next one's going to be a ghost. Maybe I'll have her carrying a broom. Only because I don't have my background cut out on here and I don't want it to be plain. Okay, so let's use, I also have Hallows Night Magic out here because I was using that yesterday. I'm still making cards for Relay for Life's craft fair. Oh, I meant to call that up too because I wanted to share that date with you. I want to say it's October 26th. I'm not positive of that. If I have a minute here, I'll try to grab that. If you have a chance to support your Relay for Life, folks, that's always really very important. You know, before I retired, I was always either a part of a team or a co-captain or a captain. And being a survivor myself, I just think that it's very important to support our relay folks. They work very hard to try to raise money. So when they asked, sorry, I have to pull this down here for a minute so I can get my head in here. And they asked if I would set up a table at their craft fair. It's pretty hard to say no because I do want to keep supporting my friends. So Sherry and Diane and their teammates are having a craft fair. And I'll have some of my cards and some of the journals that I made. And I have some Halloween treat and Christmas treat designs ready to take with me. I just have to finish putting everything together. And I'm just going to cut this off as a strip on the bottom. Let's see, I have about I may have to trim it down a little on the bottom. It's going to be kind of wide. Should go this way. Yeah, I think I'll trim a little off of the bottom there. And that was just stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. A little more, huh? Just a little more. Better. Okay. And let's put this together. Because this is a textured embossed background, I'm using some liquid glue. Doesn't take a lot, but it does help to get your paper stuck down when you have some texture there. The glue can get into those little nooks and crannies. Oh, moved it. Get that lined up on there. Figure out where I'm going to put my little witch. I've been cleaning and reorganizing my craft room. And so today's the first I'm filming after I've organized stuff. And you know, once you move things, it's almost impossible then to find it because it's been in the same place. Oh, is that not going to fit in that little, I wanted the broom to go. Oh, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. After you've had stuff in the same place for a long time and then all of a sudden you go to reach for it and you've cleaned it and put it someplace else. Come on, little witchy. have to slice your hand a little bit to get that in there. I will, but there we go. That'll work. And you know how it always is worse before it's better when you're doing some major cleaning. Yesterday was like the worst. I had, is my glue almost empty here or what? I don't know. Jeez. I had stuff from every corner out and about here. And you could add dimensionals to this if you wanted to. If you want her to, or your die cut, if you want it to pop up a little bit. I must be getting a little low on this. It just doesn't want to come out. I have another one somewhere. I'm going to have to get it. Yeah. But I'm going to put this one on just flat. So I hate to squeeze it too hard because then it just comes flying out, you know. Add our little greeting here on the bottom. And then I can add this panel too. I think I'm going to put it right under her feet so it looks like she's walking on that. Oh, it kind of lines up nice with my designer series paper too. And then I can add this to the black mat. Center that. And of course you can add your little embellishments if you wanted to add some gems or sequins or whatever your little heart desires. And then we can add this to card base. And I'm just adding to Granny Apple Green with this paper. And designer series paper. Could have used purple, black, or green. Went with green on her because my next one will add some purple. Got that on there straight. Okay, so there's a quick card. The next one I am going to use, we also had, and I had to go searching for this, I thought we had a cobwebs embossing folder at one time. I found that little baby, so I embossed, oh, what's that little witchy over here? I embossed, again, 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. You can see the little cobwebs in there. The reason I did the witch one was because I was going to use ghosts on here, and I was thinking, why did I do that on cobwebs if I'm going to use ghosts? So I guess it's okay. It's still spooky. And then I made another black mat of 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I do believe this one is, I use Purple Posy. I had a piece of Purple Posy already cut, so I'm going to use that. And then out of that same Halloween paper, I just picked the sheet that says Boo all over it. So again, we're going to do the 1 1/2 inch cuts. One and a half, 1 1/2. This one is directional, so it probably will limit where you can line your paper up. I really hadn't thought about that until just now. So we'll see how that works. And there's our 4 pieces. I guess we still can do any number of ways. Can add Boo. Here. And I can't do it this way because Boo will be sideways. I could cut a little bit off of this side if I wanted to go across the bottom, but I don't want it to go across the bottom because I'm going to put some ghosties on it. If anything, I would want it to go across the top. So out of that same paper, I just fussy cut some little ghosts. And in order just to save you from watching me do that, I already have these kids cut out here. Because you know fussy cutting is not my specialty. So this might make a difference of how I add my paper as well. I like that one big cobweb. I like that one too though. That might work. Okay. All right. And so then I need, sorry, here we go, losing my voice again. Let's just do trick or treat. See, I put everything away because I was being good and cleaning up. Is this going to be too big on here? This is an oldie but goodie. Might be a little large. Oh, come on, get back in there. Sorry, next time. Here's a cute little Happy Halloween. Let's just do that one. Happy Halloween. And I think I had pulled out an extra piece of that purple. I did. Because I wasn't quite sure what we were going to stamp as our greeting on there. But I knew I wanted to bring the purple to the front of the card also. This memento is so hard to open. I keep forgetting. One of them was re-inked and one of them was not. This one is the re-inked one. So it's pretty juicy. I just stamped that on a piece of my purple posy paper. And I think that labeled punch that I had used might be, I don't know if that's gonna, oh, it might fit. I was thinking it was gonna be too big, but it may not be. And this is an old Stampin' Up! Label punch. You may have it. Still comes in handy. Especially for doing quick cards. Punches are wonderful. This one. Can you see there? Oh. All right, and we're ready to put that together. Put my stamp away. I really have got to keep putting this stuff back on the shelf so that I am not tripping. And I have one of our fellow 24/7 stampers who is doing the stamp camp with us, obviously the one from Pennsylvania and not the lady from Puerto Rico, is going to come and let me grab a fresh thing of glue as well. She's going to come and do her video with me. And so I told her this is great. That is just, you know, the perfect incentive I needed to get up here and straighten up my craft room a little bit. Because normally I am the only person in here, so I have a very bad habit. I guess, well, it's not a bad habit. The stamps and dies that I'm using out of the current catalog or that we're promoting, or, you know, a seasonal set that we're using, I almost always put them right down here on the floor beside me because they're just easy to grab week after week. And then after a while, one side is a little crooked on here. After a while, I start to get boxed in a little bit. That's why I really need to put some of that stuff away when I'm done. Okay, and because this was designer series paper, it is much lighter than cardstock. I had put these little fellows just on some scraps of basic white and then cut them out so that they had a little bit more weight to them because I wanted to use some dimensionals. And I was afraid if I used dimensionals just on the designer series paper, they would kind of flip-flop all over, which those maybe you want to do, but I didn't want them to do that on my card. So those are just on some scrap Whisper White, basic white. I keep still calling it Whisper White. Yep, so hopefully hubby won't have to work over too much tonight. And we will actually get to go after, I hope so, because I didn't take anything out to cook. That was the problem Wednesday when I didn't realize that we had tornado warnings until he came home from work and said something about the storm warnings. I was like, what? So can we maybe hold off and go out? He said, well, we don't have to go today. I said, that's good, because I really didn't like the idea of leaving the dogs sit here by themselves. They wouldn't know to go to the basement, right? We've been through a tornado. Trust me. So, I mean, we were blessed enough that we did not have damage. Other folks in the neighborhood were not so lucky. So I think this one, I think I'll glue him flat. And that was Veterans Day weekend. So that was like in November when we had our tornado here. And it really was very, very hot and muggy here. So, I mean, I wasn't surprised that we had tornado warnings again, but I just hadn't paid attention to the weather yet. So here's the second one using our quarter of a 6 by 6 inch square. All right, so let's get out of Halloween. I'll put these fellows back into my, and I know I have a bunch of little scrappy dimensionals here that I'm pulling out. When I was cleaning, I have a lot of packets that were used at workshops and stuff, you know, so like if folks had leftover, I just always throw them back in a little bag. And so I'm trying to use some of those bits left over, trying to use some up. Okay, for this one, I used our Pampered Pets, just because they're so cute. If you have the stamp and the die set, the dies will cut some of the images on the paper. If you have the paper, it does cut a few of them out. This little fellow, though, I made from the stamp and then just used some Stampin' Blends and colored him in. And I have this was a 12 by 12 sheet. I just cut out a 6 by 6 inch square so that we're able to do our quarter cuts. I used brick and mortar and embossed a piece of basic white. I thought it would be cute to have a little doggy in front of a brick wall. So let's do our quarters. Put my little ends together there. Yeah, the other thing hubby was asking me about, I think I'm not going to be home October 4th, which would be my Facebook Live Monday, so I think I will have to cancel that. But that's okay because the 6th and 7th are our Stamp-A-Stack, and the 8th is 15-minute cards, and the 9th is our stamp camp. So it's a card making week. I'm using a real red card base, 8.5 by 11 again, just cut in half. I think I want this on the bottom. So I think I will, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Let me get I'm getting glue on my new sheet of grid paper here. So let's do, I'm going to leave a little bit of room over here on the edge because I'm going to trim it off. I know it's just a little bit longer than my embossed panel. A little wider, I should say, not longer. I did get a little bit of glue. Oh, that's right, I have sticky scissors. Oh, I don't want to do that because I will hit my paper. And then I can just trim this off, even with my embossed folder. Here we go, or my embossed panel. That'll work. And this is going to be layered onto my basic black panel. I have a label cut out of the stitched nested dies. I'm hoping my sentiment is going to fit on that. And I absolutely am very sad making this card. So where? I don't think that's going to fit on there. Oh, it might. Oh, I have another little one in there that I did. Oh, see, he was cut out of the designer series paper, just using the dies. I think I can get him out here and show you. So you could use that little fellow as well. Either way, you can cut your own and color it, stamp it and color it, or you can cut it from the paper if you've got it. I didn't have the backing on on the stamp. I'm going to save him though. I don't want to use that one on this card. I do tend to cut extras. Only because I figure I'm going to mess one of them up, so I may as well have a spare standing by. And then when I'm done, I just tuck them in the case of whatever stamp set I'm using, and they're there for the next time, in case I need something in an emergency. Which is the whole point of our quick cards here, right? We can do these quickly. Oh, again, don't know why. That is so tight. Excuse my head while I get in here again to line this up. Oh, I don't like that. It's too smudgy. Yeah. And I can't turn this one over to use it because this was a stitched label. If I turn it over, it's going to have little bumps back there. So just get another scrap out and do it again. Oh, and that one's got little, ay. It's a good thing I have scraps sitting here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that looks like a whole card panel. Keep that one. I think sometimes when I find white, I just throw it in the bag and don't always pay attention to the size. I'm going to keep this in the middle a little bit because when I go to die cut this out, that's much better. I have to have room for the die to be around my reading. Cover the ink up so I don't put my hand in it. Oh, I put my dies away. Organization's great, isn't it? I could use the Stitch So Sweetly. That might work, huh? I don't think the Pamper Pets had a label die with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Let's just do this little fella. That'll work. Actually, you know what? No, that won't fit. I was going to say I could layer that, but this is fine. Okay. Here, my little mini guy. Cut this out. I had googly eyes sitting there, still from my Halloween. I'm just afraid this is going to blend into the background and get lost on that. So I think I'm going to cut a little piece of black or red. I think the black will be fine right behind it. And because the die, the next larger size die in that set, I think is too big, it would cover up the whole wall, the whole embossed wall back here. I think I'm just going to, let's see, this is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So if I do, let's just cut a 2 by 4 piece of this basic black. Let's see how it looks behind it. These were, this was actually 12 by 12 sheet. Oh, what am I thinking? Sure, she knows how to read a ruler, right? 2 3/4. Oh, hey, that makes a difference. Trim it down a little bit. Take it over to there. It's too much. All right, we'll take a 1/4 inch off. I just want a little bit of a matte behind it so that it doesn't blend in so much. This must not be exact on the on the die because it's still a little bit large. Oh, I made it too small. Are you kidding me? Okay. There's another way to do this. There's always a way. Because I don't really want to waste all my paper. Well, let's just adhere my... Oh, this is that one. I grabbed the wrong glue. And then I'll trim around it. And if I mess that up, then we're just going to find a different way to do this altogether because I'm not going to cut it all again. Yeah, I'm just not that. Here we go. That works. Mucho better. Yes. Oh, we have dimensionals everywhere here. Everywhere. This little piece we'll put on his tail. This looks like I had started to use it on a card before and changed my mind because I have it backed on cardstock as well. Yeah, so the one good thing, that storm cooled it down quite a bit here. Actually, right before we started, I ran over and put on long sleeves because my short sleeves just were not going to work this morning. It was cold. Oh. All right. And then I have some black dimensionals that I can add to the back of the black cardstock. So use up some of those 6x6 sheets that you have. You know, we tend to keep them and not use them. Don't do that. Use them up. Okay, and again, you can add any embellishments that you want to. If you feel that it needs a little more bling on something, like I said, I did not on the Halloween ones. I did add, on my original one, I did add a little green twine bow, the Mossy Meadow twine. But there we are. Yeah. So, I hope that this will get my little shopping code back up there for you too. Encourage you to go use some of that paper that you've got out there and make somebody a card, get it sent out in the mail, and make somebody's day a little bit brighter. They might need it. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, and tune in Monday on Facebook. Actually, tomorrow is the 25th, so I'll be doing Christmas in the Making tomorrow at noon on Facebook. So if you're free around lunchtime, pop over, and I have a couple cards ready somewhere here. I don't know if I'm particularly happy with them, but we'll see what I come up with by tomorrow at noon. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone. Bye.